Hey everyone. So you made it to the week one video, and I'm going to give you a little tour of what's coming up this week. So I've organized the content by learning essentials, which is like the top things that have helped me over the last 2 years learn the most about AI and generative AI. And the extra resources is for you to dig a little bit deeper if you have time. So the learning essentials are like the top three things that I really recommend you do this week. And starting with this website that is very useful to really understanding how generative AI is generating text. The AI vocabulary is also really great, and so is this Gen AI in a nutshell video. So check those out. And then you can go peruse the extras. And this is kind of our practice assignment for this week. There's nothing to actually turn in, but you are going to have a conversation with at least one chatbot, one large language model, which we call an LLM. You can pick a question from this list and then see if it gives you a decent output, have a conversation back and forth, and then go check it out in a different tool. So check out Magic School's Raina chatbot or ChatGPT or Google's Gemini, or I'm going to share another tool called Perplexity. But anything, any LLM that you want to use for this is perfectly fine. It's good to compare and see like which tools are going to give you which types of responses. But I really just want you practicing in a chatbot. And if you've used one before, great. This is an opportunity to dig a little bit deeper and put on your critical consciousness glasses and have that lens of equity while you're using a chatbot. Because sometimes we've gone to these tools and asked it to help brainstorm or create lessons, but it might be new for you to be thinking about equity while you are using these tools. So give that a try. The next thing you're going to do this week is engage in the discussion board. And this is something that we will do every single week. And here are the questions. Which tool or tools did you explore this week? How do you see it impacting your classroom? What excites you? What concerns do you have? And don't forget that we have in the resources module a couple different Padlets for Q&A and to share things that you've found in your own research. So that's for that. But the discussion board is specifically to answer these questions. And you'll need to post by Sunday at noon if you can. And you can post as text, video, or audio. So this is kind of another unique experience to be in Canvas as a student. So check out what that looks like and what that could look like as your students are posting on discussion boards in Canvas, should you choose to use this in your class. And then after you post, go ahead and see what other people have written and reply to some of your peers. Um, it's really something that I'm looking forward to in this fellowship program, to see the conversations that emerge in the discussion boards. So further those chats, if you will, with actual people, so that we're not just chatting with our robot friends, we're chatting with our colleagues across the district. So that is the overview for week one. Let me show you how to use a chatbot. All right, go to magicschool.ai and log in with your school Google account. And you will get to this page, and there's a lot of buttons on here. You scroll down, it's like kind of like button overwhelm. We're going to use not the fill in the blank version. We're going to go over to the left where it says Raina chatbot. And this is built on top of ChatGPT. This is what's called a wrapper tool. All of these like education focused AI tools are built on top of other models. So it is very similar to using ChatGPT. You're going to type right in this box at the bottom your question, or you can just directly copy the question from this week's practice. And then there's a couple different things I want to show you here. You can also click on the microphone to speak to it, and you can just say all the things that you need to say, and then press this little, looks like a paper airplane to me. Push a little paper airplane to see what it's going to reply back. That's how you send it in. This paperclip is also very cool because you can attach things to your chat. You can send it a picture of your notes that you've written on paper or some Post-its that you've collected from students and put it in here and say, list all of the text from the image, or you can give it a PDF and ask it to summarize everything on the PDF, or ask it to save the PDF and ask questions about what is on it. So the upload little paperclip is pretty handy. This purple actions button is going to help you to translate, come up with questions like multiple choice questions. You can change the length of the output, summarize, and then custom gives you like other things to do, and you can add your own. So that's like next level handiness right there. You can also have the output that it gives you, the responses read aloud. You can export directly to a Google Doc. This is very handy. And one of the things that I love about Raina in Magic School, um, Google Gemini will also export to Google Docs. But this is really awesome right here. You can also just copy the text and it will let you copy and paste directly over to wherever you're trying to put it. And you can save the resource. So if there's a particular chunk of text that it's given you that you want to save for later, you can just save it right to your output history over here on the left. All of your chats are going to be over on the right-hand side, so you can always go back to a previous chat and add to it as well. Now I want to show you another one that you might not have heard of before, which is called Perplexity.ai. And the thing I love about Perplexity is that it's really good at citing its sources. And you can ask ChatGPT to tell you the sources that it used for the information it gave you, but it isn't always accurate. And sometimes it even makes up the sources because it always wants to please you, it wants to make you happy. Perplexity, though, will automatically give you the sources. So if you're doing research, if you wanted to find a video, help me find a video for my class to learn about muscle growth and pee. I'm gonna tell it next. That's as simple as it needs to be. You don't need to give it a ton of context. And if you wanted to give it more context, you could. And if you didn't get something back that was what you were looking for, you could always tell it more, right? So it's going to automatically give me some sources up on the top, and there's some links on the right as well. And then as I scroll through the text, they have little like footnotes that have the sources cited right there. So I can read through and be like, oh, this ultimate guide to teen muscle growth sounds awesome. And I can click and go watch the video. You can do this for more than just finding YouTube videos. You can do it to find articles to read, just information about different content areas. There's like infinite uses. I just wanted to show you the tool. So it talks just like any other chatbot, but Perplexity is a cool one. I'll show you a little bit in ChatGPT just because we do have this one for free as well. The only thing you should note about free tools is that when you're not paying for a tool, the data that you give it is your payment. They are definitely collecting your data and using it to train their models. So just keep that in mind. I mean, ChatGPT is my favorite, and everything I give it is like public information, like nothing, I'm not giving it my personal address. So just be careful with what you give it. Don't give it, student information beyond like a first name. But similar to all the other to Magic School, there's a little attach paperclip. There's also these little built-in buttons on the bottom to summarize. If you wanted to create an image, it is connected to an image generator called Dolly. And that's pretty fun to play with if you wanted to try and create an image for your students to critique or as a prompt for their writing, or even to just learn about like AI generated images. You could create something for them to look at. If you push this little record button, you can also speak to it, and you can also unmute it and have it read the responses that it's giving you, its output. It will read it out loud for you. There's a few reasons why I really like ChatGPT for my personal use. I wouldn't use it with students. It is not approved safety, privacy issues. I would not. But for my own planning, I definitely like ChatGPT. And one of the reasons I like it is that the more I give it, the more context and the more information I tell it about who I am, what I teach, the kinds of information that I'm asking for, it's going to remember that. So over time, you won't have to tell it every single time that you are a history teacher. It will remember that you are a history teacher, and it will give you outputs that align with what it thinks you want to hear. You can turn that off as well. You have control in your settings up on your little picture up in the corner. You can turn the memory off if you don't want it to, but it will remember just from you saying things, or you can intentionally say, please remember that I teach 10th grade. So that is kind of the introduction to chatbots. Have fun. Make sure that you remember to go back and forth with these things. Never take what it gives you the first time as the last thing. You will always need to continually edit, revise, add your personal touch, make it sound like you, all of that fun stuff. So have a great time exploring, and I'll see you in the discussion boards.